Hey, Vern.
You know, if you think about just moving one of these rocks, for example, this one, the amount of tremendous effort that would take to do. There's a strange design there. And to think that all these were moved by hand, and horse and whatever, chariot, and placed here deliberately. And I doubt that they redid the roads every 20 years like back home. The roads seem to hold up pretty good. Let's go in this building. Wow. Had a fairly flat floor in here. Some more floor pieces. Look at that. So were these several houses or just one big house? What's that pit for? Looks like it had a little stairway going down to it. I'm not sure if these are cisterns or storage. The way they're gated on the front and open, almost seem to be some kind of a storage. They must have had greenhouses here and things to have stored food. This would have been a lot of people that needed to get fed. Look at that street going down in there. I'm just in awe, you guys. Just in awe. Just in awe. Look at that. Wow. All right, let's see what these were. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, you can go in those. Look at this huge tablet. Now, that was something important, to have that big tablet written on, right? I mean, they're not going to write that and waste their time if it's not important. So all these pieces in here seem to be inscribed in some sort. Gosh, look at that. There's just a wealth of knowledge. Unless you know the language, it's lost. You have no idea. And all the pieces they have in the back. Look at that. All right, so here's another doorway going in. God, it was quite a doorway. My gosh. Look at these channels here. Like maybe they had a board that dropped into the channel here. See how it's kind of grooved here and then it gets deeper at the bottom? That's my guess. They had a board that locked in there. This is really cool. Look at this, you guys. You know, it's almost like they're just not sure what to do with a lot of this stuff. So it just kind of sits there. Now there's some more rooms here. Wow. Look at that. Boy, this is a nice walkway here too. My gosh. Here's what we're looking at here. Give you guys a shot. All right. So they've got a gate going up there to the top. So that's their storage, basically. And what it stored before? Makes you wonder. And I haven't even seen the good stuff yet. We're just looking at the dregs, the bottom of the barrel. And that's okay, because there's a lot to learn right here. Look at that. Big old archway. Door archway. Look at this place. Wow, that's outstanding. Look at that. The top of that. Think how elaborate that was in the day. That really said something. You came to Ephesus, you came to some serious place. Came to a serious place here. Wow. The Fountain of Domitian. So look what they started with. I'm gonna move all that stuff out of the way. Figure out what they had. That looks to be the pieces from his burial chamber. See the little chip marks again? Where it's roughed in? That's pretty cool. Romans had better roads than this. I really did. You know, they did some amazing things. I would have at least expected a little bit smoother road. Maybe that's just me. Maybe my expectations were too high. Look at this place. Look what they put up there at the top, the figures up there. When I always thought of marble, I thought of this fancy kind of marble here. This is really a pretty marble. And maybe that was more exotic. Maybe some of that was imported from some of the other countries and brought here by boat. So I wonder what the true intention of this place was. It's storing pieces now. But what was it for before, right? Oh, look at the stairway going up. That's got me excited. Look at that. Wow. Imagine they had a statue right in the middle there. And then it went up. It's up on the hill, right? All right, so more of the same. And then you've got a kind of a chamber over there. It's half filled in. That's got to make me wonder, right? What do you guys think? What do you think is in there? What do you think that was for? I want to say this is probably food storage. The way it's highly protected like this. So there appears to be some stuff up on this hillside up here. Some buildings up there. Where those stairs went up to. Imagine there were some nice homes up there at one point. Well, here's your ruins, cat. Drinking water out of the little hole there. Is that good water? I bet it is. Look at the size of some of these blocks, right? Took some serious intentions to make these rooms with those big blocks. They could have easily done it with smaller blocks, but they wanted to show off. This was about showing off what you could do and how much power you had and how much might. Look at that wall. Look at how nice that is. Look at how tight that is. I'm gonna zoom in on that. I can't get in there, but look at that. That's amazing. The skill that it took to put that wall together. And look at how beautiful that is still. So whoever oversaw that really knew what was going on. They didn't let them get away with crappy work. That was some really good workmanship right there. And that was not easy to do, especially back in the day. So apparently they're still trying to figure some of this out. Trying to put the jigsaw puzzle together. Oh, there's some cats going at it. This place has got a lot of cats. Used to be a void down there. Maybe there's a tunnel down here too. Something there. I don't know. Hello?
Hello?
So I can imagine Apostle Paul getting a little exercise down here. Now, what on earth do you think these rings are for right by the street? Is that to hold your horse? Very well could have been. Horse ring. Let's check it out. Let's see what old Roman horse ring felt like. You can hear that? It's the same sound they would have heard. That's cool. That I'm digging. Another one right here. You hear it? That's cool. I wonder how many people touch that horse ring, hitching up their horses. Including me, right? I gotta touch everything. That's part of the joy. If you didn't know that by now. Look at how nice a wall we can build with huge stones. Our craftsmen are able to make the nicest walls possible. So the Romans didn't do anything really too low-key. They went all out to show the world what they were about and what they were capable of doing. Now some of these stones have some side grooves in it, and I wonder if they're for adhesion. I wonder if these tend to get more slippery than others, and so they decided to groove it so your sandal would have some grip when it got rainy. And some of these other stones also have the same kind of grooves. Isn't that interesting? You know, it wasn't enough just to place the stones. They wanted to make sure you weren't going to fall on your butt either. I like this vantage. Let's zoom in on this. Willing to guarantee most of these stones had the grooves, and the ones that had the softer material, like this one here, probably wore away a lot faster than the others. That's why some don't have the grooves anymore. I think it's just worn away. You can kind of see a little bit of a telltale sign. See a little bit of a slight line, so they actually did have grooves too at one point. Look at this. Look at this curious round monument to something. Some of the monuments were just totally gigantic proportions. So here's another monument. That's pretty much what that was. Now there's another thing, right? We're going to show off how much money we have, how much influence, and we're going to put up a really nice monument in a real prominent spot. Show off our pull in the community. To be some kind of an arch. Get the pieces kind of stacked up. You had some pull to get a monument put up in this area. Wasn't like the average guy just decided he was going to put up his thing. No, this was quite a big deal. And if you put it up here, it was going to be here for a very long time. So there was probably a lot of discussion about it if it got placed up in here. So I'll show you this site here. So I'm going to come back here a few different times, one with my camera and one to take it really slow. I want to go through these ruins, kind of pick them apart a little bit. Today it's just about getting a brief overview, seeing what's here, what to expect, seeing how big this area is actually. Some more writing. Tells us who that was. That's outstanding. You have a statue with the inscription still. I'm digging that. Look at that. It's all statue bases right there. It's incredible. I have a feeling most of those statues are probably in the museum by now. So if you look at the hillside here too, a lot of different rock pieces. I'd imagine there's shards all the way up top of that hill, probably down to several feet. So if you were going to live anywhere back in the day, if you could live on that hillside right there, that would be key, right? Close to the walkway. Look at how nice and wide this is. This is outstanding. This is really something. Now this is a nice walkway. This is nicer than the other walkways. Wow. Wow, really impressed. Really, really impressed. Now, I don't see any grooves in this walkway like I did the other one. And it's about as steep too. So what are these little deals here? Do they have a gate in here? Were they from something that at one time there was a gate? Or are these recycled pieces? Were these from a different temple? Very well could be. All these statue bases. Here lies Vern. Here's his tomb. No, kidding. Well, that was somebody's archway. Right there. Oh, look at that stone. That's pretty cool. What did that say?
La vue d'ensemble est pas mal.
You know, you have to wonder, when you have something this elaborate, this nice, and when somebody conquers, are they just so jealous that they're just going to throw it down and make a point they can destroy it, where they could have just taken it over and used it, and recycled it, and saved it for everybody else? That would have made sense, right? Look at the mosaics. Oh, that's outstanding. That is totally outstanding. We'll zoom in on these so you guys can check it out. Wow. You see some more of these grooves on this stone that didn't get walked on. Now look at the grooves, and then it's kind of washed away from walking on it. So some guy, that was his job all day long. He'd come out here and he'd hammer on these stones, putting grooves back in there so people could get traction in the wet, rainy days. What do? Oh, I groove stones. That's my job. Feeling groovy. Is that where that came from? Makes you wonder. Another stairway going up. Let's poke up here. I like to kind of go out of the way. Now this looks too nice. This marble, this was redone here. Oh, here we go, or something. Oh, very cool. Get up in here. All right, I'm gonna do a little overview here. You guys can see what I'm seeing. Look at the drains that they put in these stairs. How they would drain. That's really crazy. Look at that. Huh. Look at this though. This is outstanding. What was this? Oh wow, look at that. Statue sitting here. You know, it's too damn bad they had to break everything up. And it's no different than what's happening in the US today, right? It's really sad. I gotta pull back to this. How about that? The Romans recycled. They invented recycling. You see it right here. They started recycling 2,000 years ago. So if you think recycling is a new thing, no. It began here. Look at that. Part of somebody's tomb. Hey, we need a piece. Put that up there. All right, cool. It's the first time I've seen that anywhere. That's pretty funny, actually. Now, if that's that lump of stones that they joined together, it looks like the same thing that was at St. John's Church. They just make some kind of an art thing on top, and they just wad everything together. And I'm not sure what it implies, if it was a dome. Could this have been a shrine? Look at the size of these stones. Look what they had to put in here to hold the weight up. Some of these terrace houses here. How'd you like to live up here back in the day, huh? Yeah, I can be spending a week in here. Easy. I consider buying the week pass instead of paying $100 each day. Look at that. These archways. Still with the writing. That's really cool. So much to gain here knowledge-wise. So much to learn seeing these ruins. Oh, look at this little deal here. Was this a bath? Some kind of a bath? Oh. See how it's circular like that? It's kind of deep. Or it could have been some kind of a cistern. I always am curious when I see these archways that are closed up like that. Were they open? Were they made to look like that? You don't know. And look at this. Was this all block going across the top for the roof at one point? You know, I always wonder the purpose of these arches. Is it just decorative? Is it symbolic? Is it for something? So we have some pedestal bases in here. So I have a feeling that this was probably a display room of some sorts. And why is this walled off? What's back here that's so special? I don't know. But look how nice that wall is, though. It's still really nice. There's an archway going in there, a couple archways, and a lot of pieces on the ground. Looks to be a little underground thing there, whatever that is for. Kind of interesting. They put in this anchor to tie these pieces together, this big piece of steel. They wedged it in here, bent it over, and then wedged it down into here. And that was to keep these blocks together from sliding, because this was a main archway and they didn't want it to shift. And it's worked perfectly. It's just worked perfectly. Oh, we gotta go inside that museum. That's a must.